Hello everybody, this is Gamer Gar. Welcome back to another video of Coral Island. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to get every single insect in the game. So we're going to go over their locations, we're going to go over their difficulty, and I'm also going to show you all of the possible places you can get them, including the seasons and the weather conditions. So you can use this guide to basically capture all of these insects, and you can fill out the museum with all of the insects, which makes the game look much cooler. The first insect we're going to look at is the eastern black swallowtail. You can catch this only in fall. It needs to be rainy or stormy. You can only get it at night time. The beach, lake, lookout and forest areas is where you'll find this critter. Next up is the Gulf fritillary. This can only be caught in fall and summer. Any weather condition is fine. All times of the day. Get it in the garden lane, the lookout, the woodlands and the vineyard. Next up we have the olive wing butterfly, another very common insect. Fall and winter only though, sunny or windy. All times of the day you can get it at the lake, woodlands or forest regions. Next up we have the snail, which spawns in spring, summer and fall. Rainy, windy or stormy for this critter to come along. All day you can catch this and it pops up in the beach, lake, vineyard, woodlands, forest areas. Next up let's look at the grasshopper. Now you're going to get these in fall and winter, but you can get them any time of the day, any weather condition is fine, and these spawn all over the map, just like the snail. Very common indeed. Next up is the Luna moth. Now this you can get in spring, summer and fall. However, you need sunny or windy, but you can only find this in the town or forest areas any time of the day. It's a little bit more uncommon. Next up is the praying mantis. Now you can get this spring, fall and winter. It has to be rainy, sunny or windy. You can get it any time of the day, and you'll notice this quite a lot in the garden lane, the beach and especially the forest region. Especially the forest. Next up is the centipede. Now you can get this throughout all seasons. It needs to be sunny or windy. It only pops up at night time, and this thing spawns all over the map, but it is very uncommon. You could go nights without seeing one. Next up is the atlas moth. Now this only pops up in fall and winter. Needs to be sunny or windy. It only comes out at night and it only spawns in the forest region. That is the atlas moth. The next insect we're going to cover is the maple leafcutter moth. Now this spawns in summer and fall. It needs to be sunny, windy or rainy. All times of the day you can get this, and primarily found in the garden lane, the lake and of course the woodlands areas. It's the maple leafcutter moth. Next is the ground beetle. This is probably the most common insect around. It spawns basically everywhere, regardless of season, regardless of weather. And it comes out primarily at night time, but you can also dig it up during the day as well with a hoe. That's the ground beetle. Extremely common, extremely easy to capture. Next up is the violet beetle. Now this only spawns in fall and summer. If it's sunny or windy, you can get your hands on these. All times of the day, you'll find these in the woodlands, the forest and the vineyard. It's especially common from my experience around the vineyard and the hot springs area there. Next up we have the lady beetle. Now this spawns in spring, summer and fall. If it's sunny or windy, any time of the day this will pop out, and you can get these around the garden lane, the town, the lookout and the hot springs area. Especially common around the hot springs area, I find, in my own opinion. The next insect we're going to talk about today is the wasp. Now the wasp can be common at the same time it cannot be. It spawns in any season. If the weather is sunny at all times of the day, you'll find it in the vineyard, the hot springs and the forest. The wasp can be extremely common, but sometimes you can go a few days without seeing one. So I suppose you could say the wasp is a bit uncommon. The next up, let's talk about the fly. This is another super common critter. It spawns in any season, any weather, during the daytime, and it can be found almost anywhere on the map, any of the spawn regions. The fly can easily pop up. It's super common though in the trash can area, you know, the recycling centres. Next up is the saddleback. You can only get these in summer and fall. Any weather condition is fine, all times of the day, and you're looking for these in either the beach, the lookout or the forest region. Just like you see there in the forest. Next up is the pine sphinx, another very common critter. Spring, summer and fall, any weather condition is fine, all times of the day, the town, the lookout and the beach. Especially common to find on the beach if you're looking for one in particular. but again it's a very common insect. Next up we have the man-faced stink beetle. This one can be a little bit uncommon. Summer and winter, it needs to be sunny or windy, it only comes out at night. You get these in the lookout and the forest region. It's the man-faced stink bug. Next up we have tiger swallowtail butterfly. Now this pops up in spring, summer and fall. It needs to be sunny or windy, it's daytime only for this. You get these in the woodlands, the vineyard, the hot spring and the forest areas. They're quite common. Next up we have the striped garden caterpillar. So this one is spring, summer and fall. It needs to be sunny or windy all times of the day. Get this in the garden lane, the beach or the hot spring region. Next up we have the pipevine swallowtail butterfly. Now this can be gotten in all seasons, any weather condition during the daytime. You'll find these in the garden lane, the lake, the woodlands and the forest regions. This is especially common in the forest regions. Next up we have the dragonfly. Now these can only be gotten in summer and fall, but any weather condition is fine. They're daytime only. You get these the beach, around the lake and around the town, but I find that these are especially common around the lake area, as I just caught one there around the lake area. Next we have the banded wally bear. Now this can be caught in fall or winter. Now for the weather it can either be sunny, windy, snowy, or you can get a blizzard. These will also pop up during the day, and these are fairly common all over the place too, especially the woodlands area. You'll find these especially in the woodlands area. Next up is the soldier beetle. Summer or fall for this one, any weather condition, all times of the day, and these pop up all over the place. So the garden lane, the lookout, the woodlands, the town, the beach, the hot springs and even the lake. These spawn all over the map in those seasons. That's the soldier beetle. Quite the colourful beetle. Next up we have the monarch caterpillar. Now these only pop up in fall and winter. As for the weather conditions, sunny, windy, rainy or snowy, these are daytime only. You'll find these in the garden lane, the beach and the woodlands areas. You'll find those. And they're fairly easy to catch too, they're not too difficult. The harpalus beetle. Now this only spawns in spring and fall, but any weather condition you'll find these. During the daytime only, you'll get this in the town, the lookout, the forest, the vineyard and the hot springs. So it's fairly common, and if you run around with your net you'll definitely bump into a few of these. Next up we have the ghost mantis. These spawns in spring, summer and fall. Any weather condition is fine, they can spawn all day. They spawn in the garden lane and the mid-forest section. Now this is a super rare spawn. You could go days and days checking these regions, you might not come across a single ghost mantis. So if you do come across one, try your best to catch it. It's a difficult catch. Next up we have the Assam silk moth. These only pop up in spring and fall. In terms of weather, it needs to be sunny, rainy or windy. It is a daytime catch and they pop up all over the place. Garden lane, lookout, hot springs, vineyard, etc. They are very common indeed. You will certainly bump into a good few of these on your travels around Coral Island. Next up we have the regular moth. These spawns in all seasons, nighttime only. It needs to be sunny, rainy or stormy. And you'll find them in the garden lane, the town, the hot springs and the vineyard. Despite the fact that they spawn in all seasons, I found this one to be quite uncommon. I only bumped into a few of these when I was searching. Next up we have the Janata Forester butterfly. These only spawn in fall and winter. You needed the weather to be sunny or windy. It's daytime only. Get them in the vineyard, the hot spring and the forest. And this is also a fairly common spawn. You will find the occasional forester butterfly. Next up we have the super rare orchard mantis. These only spawn in summer and fall. The weather needs to be sunny or windy. It's daytime only. You'll find these in the garden lane or the forest area. Now the orchard mantis is an incredibly rare spawn. It's also incredibly hard to catch. So if you do see one, use caution. Try your best to sprint in and catch it before it runs away. If it does run, you won't catch it. It's super fast. Next up we have the rove beetle, another super hard catch, and it is a rare spawn. Fall or winter for this, sunny, rainy or stormy. It's nighttime only, and you'll find this in the garden lane or in the vineyard. Also worth noting too that come winter I believe you can also find it on the beach. I'm pretty sure I found it on the beach during winter as well, but it's a difficult catch. The red admiral. easy enough catch, spring, fall and summer. Sunny, windy or rainy for weather conditions during the daytime only. You'll find this in the garden lane, the forest or the vineyard areas. And it's a simple enough catch. It's the Admiral. Next up we have the tarantula. You'll only get this in fall. The weather has to be sunny and only comes out at night. You'll get this in the beach or the town. It's much more common in the beach area, I found. However, it is incredibly hard to catch. It took me at least 5 or 6 attempts to actually get that one. Very hard to catch. Next up we have the widow spider. This only spawns in spring and fall. Needs to be sunny or windy. Only pops out at night. You'll get this in the beach, the woodlands, the town, the lookout and the forest. Again, this is a rare spawn and it is quite difficult to catch. Next up we have the leaf beetle. This only spawns in spring and winter. For weather conditions, sunny or windy. All day of course for this one. And you can find it in the forest, the vineyard and the hot springs area. And it's an easy enough catch. Next up we have the spice bush swallowtail butterfly. Spring and winter. Multiple weather conditions there, sunny, windy, rainy or stormy. It's daytime only. You'll pick it up in the garden lane, the beach or the woodlands sections. And it's easy enough to catch as well, not too hard. Next up we have the birdwing butterfly. This is rare and you're going to get it in winter. It needs to be sunny or rainy. Daytime only. You'll get this in the lookout area or the forest area and it is a difficult to catch. So if you do see one, proceed with caution. Try to be quick on your feet to nab this one up before it takes flight. Next up we have the western tiger swallowtail. This only spawns in summer and winter. For the weather conditions, sunny, rainy or stormy. It's daytime only and you'll find this in the garden lane, the lake area and the hot spring regions. And it's not too difficult to catch. Like most caterpillars, just sprint up, scoop it up with the net, you'll get it no problem at all. Next up we have the puss moth. Now these only spawn in spring and summer. Any weather condition is fine for these and all times of the day. You'll find these in the lake area, forest, the vineyard and the hot springs. And they're also an easy enough catch. It's very common, you'll definitely come across your fair share of puss moths. Next up we have the firefly. These spawn in spring and summer. Any weather condition is fine for these. They spawn during the night time only. And you'll find these in the garden lane, the lake, the woodlands and the forest areas. And the firefly isn't too difficult to catch. Sometimes it can be a bit sporadic and it could take off. Most of the time it's fine. Next up we have the cricket. Now these only spawn in spring and summer. The weather needs to be sunny, rainy or windy and they pop up at night time. You can get the crickets all over the place. Garden lane, the beach, woodlands, forest area. They pop up everywhere. Extremely common and not too difficult to catch. You will come across your fair share of crickets when you play through those seasons, absolutely. Next up, let's look at the Serapic caterpillar. Now this only spawns in spring and summer. It needs to be sunny or windy. It's nighttime only for this one. And you'll get it in the garden lane, the lake, the lookout, the forest and the vineyard. So again, it's very common. And it's another easy catch. Most things are easy to catch, to be honest with you, bar a few exceptions. Next up, we have Scarta's beetle. Now this only pops up in spring and summer. The weather conditions need to be sunny or windy. It only comes up at night time, which you'll find these around the garden lane, the vineyard, the woodlands and the forest regions. It can be uncommon. You might not bump into this all the time, so if you do see one and you have your net, try to scoop one up and chuck it into the museum to add it to your lovely roster. Next up we have another super easy one to catch. This is the hickory horned devil. Now it only pops up in spring and summer. Needs to be sunny, rainy or stormy. This thing only comes up at night time. And you'll get this in the woodland, the lookout and the forest areas. And it's an easy enough catch. Like most caterpillars or grounded bugs, it's easy enough to pick up off the ground. Next up is the tiger beetle. This is insanely hard to catch. It only pops up in spring. Any weather condition, it's around all day. And it's quite common. You'll get it in the garden lane, the beach, the lake, the woodlands, the town and the lookout. But it is very hard to catch. It's very fast. If it spots you, if it runs, you will not catch up to it. Even with a coffee buff, it's gone. Next up we have the littlewood satyr butterfly. This only pops up in spring and summer. Any weather condition is fine, but it's only there during the day. You'll find this in the garden lane, the lake and the woodlands. I found these particularly common in the lake region. And they're easy enough to catch as well. They won't give you too much trouble. Just sprint up, scoop it up in the net. you'll have one no problem at all. Next up we have the Magnolia Green Jumper. This only pops up in spring and summer. If it's rainy or stormy, you'll get this all times of the day, and it only pops up in the lake or forest area. This critter can be quite hard to see. It's very small. It's also very hard to catch, so extreme caution when approaching this one. If you can, try to sprint in and nab it before it has a chance to run away from you. Next up we have the Polyphemus Moth. This only pops up in spring and summer. If it's rainy, stormy or windy and nighttime, you'll be able to get your hands on this. It spawns the beach, the town and the lookout areas, and it's not too difficult to catch. That is the Polyphemus Moth. Next up we have the Yucca Moth. Now this only pops up in spring and summer, but any weather condition is fine for this. It's daytime only, and you'll find this in the beach, town and hot spring areas. Now it can be quite a difficult catch. I got it off guard there, but if it sees you coming, it's gone. You won't catch it. So it can be quite uncommon as well. If you see one, try to catch it with the net. That is the Yucca Moth. Next up is the Crowned Hairstreak Butterfly. This only spawns in summer. It needs to be sunny. It's all times of the day for this one, but it only pops up in the beach and the forest areas, and it can be quite rare. It's also quite a challenge to catch this one of the harder variants of the butterfly in this game. If you do see one and you have a coffee, take the coffee, try to sprint in and nab it up with the net as quickly as you can. Next up we have the Blue Morpho Butterfly. This only spawns in summer. Also the weather needs to be windy. Also you can only get it during the daytime, and you'll only get it in the lake and forest areas. This is a very rare critter. Very hard to catch. This is one of the hardest critters to catch in the game, in my opinion. The Blue Morpho Butterfly. Very difficult catch. Very rare. Next up we have the Wolf Spider. This only spawns in summer. Any weather condition for this. It only comes up at night time in the forest and vineyard areas. I couldn't actually catch it whilst recording. I've only caught it once so far. Extremely hard to catch. Extremely fast. Extremely perceptive. Here's another attempt to try to catch it here. As we can see, the aggro bar has just reset. I sprinted over, it was gone in a heartbeat. Very difficult catch. Also, a very rare spawn. That's the Wolf Spider. Once you capture all of the insects, you don't even need to capture them all. You can actually go to the insectarium here inside the museum, and it will actually show you the insects that you've caught so far, which is really cool. So as we can see here, we can see lots of butterflies that I caught. This is like the butterfly section. We have the super rare blue morphos right there. If we move up, we can see some of the more rare moths, especially on the tree there. We got the hair streak butterfly. Over here we see the lovely little lady beetles on the left. And I'm going to run up here another little bit. There's the rove beetle right there, another super rare catch. We got some dragonflies there as well. It's just a really nice place to go and run around in, you know. That's the Atlas mat right there. And I also have the wolf spider, which I'll just circle now in a second. There we go. That's the super rare, super hard to catch wolf spider. So I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. And this video took me ages to make, so if you could please subscribe to the channel and leave a like, I would really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.